Crazy prison stories. I got my guy Tyler here doing a little co-host thing, trying to chop it up a little bit. We was locked up together in Lancaster in 2016. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, and then we'll get into unspoken rules of prison.
Shit, my name Tyler from the East Side Columbus. Grew up with Kansas. We was probably about 13. Was in prison together. 2016. Then we was in prison together down in Luke, but he was on the 4B side. I was on 4A.
Big 4B shit. Playing with Dookie. All right, so let's get in a little bit of our childhood. So I grew up with both my parents. They were battling addiction for most of my life, so I was always in that type of environment. I am a true believer of monkey see, monkey do. If your children see you doing something, they are like a sponge. They absorb it a lot. I do not, under any circumstances, want people to think I am using that as an excuse for why I made the decisions in life that led me to prison. I am my own man. Unfortunately, being in that type of environment, I kind of was just fascinated, I guess you would say, with the street life.
For sure.
The fast money, the power that brings. Growing up, I had a decent childhood until my mom was diagnosed with a rare cancer called Wagner's granulomatosis. Don't ask me to spell it. I have no idea. Some type of rare cancer that basically eats the flesh from inside. Unfortunately, she went to a doctor for help, and he, instead of helping her, just prescribed her the max amount of Oxy 80s she could possibly get. I think at one point she was getting 320 Oxy 80s a month. And anybody that knows and was in that era of the OCs knows them are a very dangerous and deadly narcotic pill.
For sure.
320 Oxy 80, that's a fucking lot, bro. I ain't sure. Like Tyler said, we grew up together out east in Columbus, Ohio. I don't really want to say I jumped off the porch out here, but this is the environment and the place I was when I became a dumbass criminal, a dumbass drug dealer. I would like to say I was smart, but unfortunately I went to prison multiple times because of it. So I obviously wasn't too fucking smart. Tyler, go ahead and tell them a little bit about the way you grew up, and then we're going to just jump into, some of these prison shit.
Shit, the way I grew up, shit, it was a good life, for real, normal. Besides, my mom died when I was 4, so it was really just me, my dad, my brother. He started drinking a lot, got to see him doing other things. He started shooting heroin. That really led to the next thing. Like you said, monkey see, monkey do. I started selling it when I was probably 13. Well, fucking one thing led to another. Getting in trouble. Shit, 13 years old, had 2 counts of aggravated riot, 2 counts of abduction. I was on the news at 13 years old. It was rough. I'm motherfucking house arrest.
So let me ask you a question. Would you say, being in that environment, watching your dad do drugs, did you think at that time that drugs were okay?
I mean, I wouldn't say okay, because watching it really fucked up my life, for real.
So me growing up, I used to love the smell of weed. Okay, I don't know. I was fascinated with it. I used to sneak into my parents' room and sniff my dad's bag, and I'm talking about probably at 7 or 8 years old. I was army crawling into my parents' room and sniffing his bag of marijuana. Like, it smelled fantastic to me. Now, mind you, we are not glorifying anything we're talking about today. We are simply just speaking truth, giving real experiences, and trying to at least put this knowledge out there for people to understand that just because we're felons does not mean we're bad people. We made bad decisions. Yes. Me personally, I feel like we went to prison. We paid for our mistakes. That should be a start over point. But unfortunately, it's not. We're felons. That is going to follow us for the rest of our life. To get employment, to get, even to buy a house, they run a background check on you. With that being said, once again, 2016, me and him was locked up. I've never been to prison. By the time I got there, he had already been down for what?
2 years.
2 years. So I'm fresh out the gate. He's been down 2 years. I'll talk a little bit about my experience. He's going to talk a little bit about his. Um, on the bus ride to my parent institution, I had already spent 21 days at CRC, which is a reception center for new inmates with new numbers. I just happened to be in the 21 and under block, which was a more locked down block than the rest of the compound. So I didn't get to move around as much as I probably should have if I would have been in a normal block. So I didn't really get to experience, my first month in prison because I was more locked down than normal. So the bus ride to Lancaster, I was going through a lot of different feelings. I was nervous. I was scared. And anybody that tells you they wasn't scared on their way to prison is a liar. Um, you read shit in books, you watch movies, you hear rumors, and there is a big false advertisement when it comes to prison, I think. Especially in Ohio, it's nothing like the movies, you guys. I have never seen nobody be raped. I've never seen nobody get killed. I've seen people die, but only by their own hands. Unfortunately, suicide is a big problem in prison. I have seen people get attacked. I have seen blood. It was gory. That's for another episode. So again, off the bus at Lancaster SCI level 2. I'm feeling nervous. The COs are making a squat and cough. That's still unfamiliar to me. I've only been down, 2 months at this point. I've only squatted and coughed probably 4 times the whole time. Anybody that says that shit does not bother them is a liar. It's always going to bother you when another man is literally watching you get naked, grab your ankles, and cough. I don't care what the situation is. If that don't make you uncomfortable, you need to go get some professional help. You'll never get used to it no matter how much you do it in prison. I think the scariest moment for me was walking out of R&D, which is the first place you're at in prison, and walking through the compound to get to your block. All eyes are on you. Everybody's trying to check you out and see what you're about. If you carry yourself a certain way, if you got that chip on your shoulder, in prison, it's always like he said, you'll be fish food if you don't stand up for yourself, wolves and sheeps. How was your first day in prison? You had been down 2 years by the time I got there. I know you was locked up with your brother at that prison, but obviously you guys didn't go there together at the same time. So how did that make you feel being there alone, basically on your own, on the bus?
Shit, it was scary. I didn't know what to expect. Got down there, like you said, in the R&D, motherfucker make you strip right there in front of the COs, ass naked. Knowing we just came from CRC, had to do it there, and still had to do it again when we get here. Make us carry our own box to our block. I was in I dorm, so I'm walking up between I dorm and F2 in the little alley. So you got motherfuckers on the fence. Hey, where you from? Da, 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 da. You got a Bible. The little Bibles, motherfuckers smoke out of them.
Yeah, so the little Bibles, they're like paperback Bibles. If anybody that's been to prison knows, the paper in there is probably better than gold in prison. There's probably a good 350 pages in the Bible, and that each page can probably turn into 2 at least, maybe 3 if you squeeze it, to roll up cigarettes, to roll weed, the dipperettes. So people that are coming from CRC or other institutions are always asked, do you have a Bible? Are you trying to sell your Bible?
You definitely ask all that. The Bibles was going for what, $10, $15 when you get there. Cause I ain't know that until I got there.
Shit, if I would have known that, I would have loaded up on a few of them bitches while I was at CRC.
Well, walking through there, getting I dorm, see a couple people I was in the workhouse with, chopped up with them for a little bit. Then next thing I know, my blood brother, he's outside sending people in for me. Go out to the yard.
Hold on. You say your blood brother. Are you talking about Sammy?
Sammy.
So at this point, you guys, Sammy had been down how long?
Almost a year.
Sammy, his biological brother, had already been down a year. So he kind of is not, I wouldn't say known in prison, but he's done the walk. You know, he knows a little bit. He knows some of the unwritten rules. And, you know, to be honest with you, I would have loved, and I was kind of glad when you guys were there. You know, initially I went there because Drew was there, but he was already in the hole by the time I got there. But that was a good thing I knew going there, that I at least knew somebody from the streets that could basically kind of pull me to the side and tell me what I needed to know. Because if it wouldn't have been for you guys and a couple other people, I would have probably fucked up on the unwritten rules a few times and learned the hard way. So again, his brother was there a year. So as he said, his brother's sending people in because, you know, you can't go out of place in prison. So he's sending people in like, hey, come outside. Your brother's trying to holler at you.
She went out there, started walking the avenue. Lancaster is a small prison. Really small.
It definitely is.
Probably one of the smallest in the state of Ohio.
I think it is the smallest, at least level 2 for sure. I mean, it's one street.
It's only got one rec yard. Ain't really big. One baseball diamond.
I used to say I could basically throw a rock from one end of the compound and damn near hit the fence to the other end of the compound. That's how small Lancaster SCI is.
But as I know, I'm down there with my brother. He's already been down there a year. And one thing he already knows, my brother is a hard-headed, mouthy person.
Disrespectful motherfucker sometimes.
It don't matter how many times the nigga fights or you beat him up, he's still gonna get up and say the same shit. So already I get down there, I don't find nothing out really. But after a couple months, people come to me like, bro, your brother crazy. He's getting me in this shit down there. I'm getting him out of shit. Shit's crazy.
So let's step on that real quick. That's another big thing about prison, especially who you associate with. Somebody you associate could do one thing and that could be brought onto you. So say your friend that you kick it with on a daily basis, you might go to chow with, he's stealing from his block. He done stole from the wrong person, but because you associate with them, it's like that saying, birds of a feather flock together. They're coming at you sideways because of something another motherfucker did because you associate with them. So you have to be extremely careful when it comes to your association with somebody else.
For sure. But like I said, get down there. Then really there's an organization from Columbus. Started running around them, getting to feel everything. But I didn't really get down with him until I was in level 3. They wrote me out of Lancaster for some dirty urines, dumb as fuck. Sent me up to motherfucking Lebanon to a level 3.
So for you guys that don't know, dirty urine is obviously a negative drug screen where you've done pissed in a cup and it's came back dirty, or there's some type of substance in your piss. I believe it's after 3 dirty urines, they ride you out. It used to not be like that. They would just put you on some type of sanctions, but I know they started cracking down on that really tough. How long did you end up spending at Lancaster before you rode out to, where was it, Leb?
Leb. Did 3 years down at Lancaster.
I don't know how the fuck you lasted 3 years at Lancaster, bro. I did 13 months there, and it was fucking, once I got to a level 3, maybe not Warren because of the situation that was going on at Warren at the time, but once I got to Mansfield, bro, it was a whole different atmosphere than a level 2. It was so much better. Like, it was more respect went a long way. You didn't see as much stealing. You didn't see much as childish ass shit that you see on a level 2. Them cells, oh man, I love it. I love being in a cell. You get a little tiny piece of privacy from time to time. As long as you got a cool cellie and you guys ain't bumping heads every chance you get, the cells are definitely a lot better than a dorm. Once again, I want to clarify, we are not glorifying anything to do with prison. It is not a place you guys want to be. It's not a fun, happy place. It can be deadly. It can get serious. It's depressing, and it really takes a toll on your mental health. I did 13 months at Lancaster SCI before I rode out for conveyance. I will be doing a video on that later about me and the person that got caught with me. It's a, you know, a touchy subject. It's sensitive, but it's a good reminder that even if you get locked up and you're still got that mind mentality of a drug addict, you can still get yourself in trouble, and you can also drag people down with you. Uh, Hopefully we can get some more guests on here. I have his brother possibly wanting to come in and tell his side of his story from Lancaster SCI. We will be doing a part 2 here later. If you guys want to see more of these types of videos, comment down below and let me know if, you know, you guys don't like this type of content and want me to switch back to what I was doing. Again, comment down here, like the video, and let us know. All right, this is Life After Prison in the Hustle, and we'll see you later. Ugh, fuck. That wasn't bad, bro.